Hi, it's Achim from ISE. So today I'll give you a bit more from the U-boat. It was basically just a side project. I didn't really plan on doing something on YouTube with it, but obviously it's cool. And so I said, let's make a video. And then I got all this feedback and comments. And so I thought it's easier to make a quick follow-up instead of answering all these questions and all these comments. So at that point, Carl, thank you very much for taking the time and the effort. You comment such a lot on my videos, and I all the time don't have the time to really respond to them. So specifically also to your question, I wanna answer and explain the U-boat a little bit more. So just to give you a bit of a history, if it's a bit shaky, it's because my dog tries to eat the cameraman, which doesn't make things easier. So the boat's called Delfin, which is like German for dolphin, and was two gentlemen from Wertheim in Germany, and they were called Anton Dinkel and Hans Trippel. So Trippel was a car designer, while Dinkel, I guess, was more of a mechanical person. And they met 1961, and they decided time has come, every German needs a personal submarine. And they made, so this Anton Dinkel obviously was an experienced mechanic when it came to, or experienced craftsman when it came to fiberglass, and that was the chosen material for the U-boat submarine. And they made a prototype. And that prototype they showed to the public on a show in Paris. And from as much as I know, that did not really went well. So the story says that the ascent and descent from the U-boat, from the submarine, did not really work well. So they tried to make it descend, and it didn't. And then it suddenly hit the floor of that pool and then popped back up to the surface. So it was not really good. And so the public wasn't impressed. And they could not get like a in Germany it's TÜV, in America I think it's the Department of Transportation, and you need kind of a stamp that they approve it, that it's safe, and that you can make that and build it and sell it, and they didn't get that. And so originally the Triple, the guy that was the engineer, wanted 300 of these units built and wanted to order these, and as Dinkel couldn't get these permissions and these papers, he said, no, thank you, I'm not interested. And he built his own company and started producing another U-boat, which is called the Tigerhai. And his company then in the end had 11 employees, and they were building this two-man submarine. And that actually went pretty well till there was a fatality at Lago Maggiore in Italy, where a journalist and the gentleman that was driving the U-boat did something wrong with the CO2 absorbent, and they went unconscious and actually died in that submarine. And that was the end of the second company as well. So Mr. Dinkel, who built the first prototype, decided to do this on his own. And he made 6 of these subs, as far as we know, and then he went bankrupt. And from these 6 submarines, to my knowledge, there's one really original one left, which is in the German museum. I told you that in the first video. And it looks like there's 2 more kind of complete ones, one in the Netherlands and one in a museum up north in Germany, but I could not really figure out if it's still there or not, but I've seen pictures. But they are pretty modified, so they do not really have something to do with the original concept. And again, to my knowledge, when the company went bankrupt, Dinkel had another 12 hulls of the submarine ready, but it was not built to end, so no interior, it's just the simple hull. And this is one of these hulls. So this boat was never in the water. It was never fully constructed. There was no engine in it, no nothing. It was just the hull that was ready for assembly, which never happened. And that's the way I got it. And so I'll use the sample in the German Museum in Munich as reference, and then build it to these specs. So a lot of people obviously think it's too small for a person. So I'm 190, so I will show that this still works. I mean, you should not have claustrophobia, but it works. And the other question that I received a lot was if this is a wet sub or a dry sub. So wet sub would be like a scooter that you could sit in, but you would be in dive gear and you would be submerged and in water, but kind of in an enclosure and drive this thing. And a dry sub is 1 atmosphere, no matter how deep you dive. And this is a dry sub indeed. So originally it was designed to go to 30 meters, around about 100 feet. And the depth where it would actually collapse is 100 meters, it's 300 feet. Obviously, you do not want to, to dive in this thing to 30 meters with a 60-year-old fiberglass hull, because we don't know what happened to this hull. I mean, it could have fallen over, it can have some hair cracks somewhere that we cannot detect, so you would have to X-ray it, blah, 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 which obviously I don't want to do, so don't get the wrong impression. So Achim stops diving now and goes into underwater exploration in a submarine. That's not the case. It's just a toy. It's fun. As you can see in the background, I'm in my boat workshop, so this thing will look awesome on an exhibition. People will love it. And obviously when it's ready, we will put it in one of the lakes and cruise around in 3 meters of water, a couple of divers around, make some nice pictures and videos and show it to you, obviously. But obviously we don't want to really dive on this. So I talked to a submarine engineer, in fact, and he also said, yeah, 3-5 meters, all good, but don't really dive in this thing. So yeah, it's a dry sub, so it will get all the outfitting. It will have an oxygen continuous flow system and a CO2 absorbent, all of this. So it really works. We will build the acrylic dome, which is my daily business. I mean, we do both print screens all day long, so this is simple, and I already made one for somebody else. And engines also there. We will get an electric engine with 1000 watts, so 1 kilowatt, and that should speed it up to 5-6 knots. And yeah, steering is pure mechanical. So I will show you this. So I will make a series out of this, and you will see step by step how we build this up, and then I can also show you always the comparison to the original one in the German museum, and you can tag along when we when this becomes a submarine again. And now I'll actually show you that I fitted this thing. So yeah, you can come this way. Oops. So you see, pretty cozy. It's sitting in here pretty good. So I have the acrylic dome on top of me, which allows me to have a look. And actually an interesting side note here is that the people around Jacques Cousteau had one of these. And unfortunately, a member of the Cousteau Society drowned in one of them. They were doing movies in the harbor of Monte Carlo. And as far as I know, the acrylic dome imploded and the unfortunate diver died. So if any of you, especially from the older generation, knows anything about that, has newspaper articles or anything, please send them to me. So I'm really into getting more information about these subs. I have quite a bit, but there's obviously more, especially also on these accidents and stuff. So if you have something, send it to me. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, let me get out of this again. And yeah, if you like my content, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. As you can see, it's all about diving, sometimes about submarines. And if you have questions, comments, please put them in the comment section. And I'll see you on the next video, which will actually be episode number 3 of my current project, The Wreck of the Testis. Take care. Bye-bye.